Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I'm a master manifester, and I'm sure you are too. Manifesting magic the practical way, right? If you've already been here before, then you know the little spiel that I do at the beginning. If you haven't been here before, I don't feel like doing a whole spiel today. Go watch another video. That's motivation to go see something else. I want to get right into it. What do you see for your life, right? Man, this is one of those things where I was realizing that there's a difference. Sometimes I forget that there's differences between people. I'm in my own little world. But sometimes when I interact with people, I see the big differences in whether people are visionaries or whether they just see the rules that are in place and they start walking in the world and organizing their lives accordingly, right? Now, you can find some success in life by organizing yourself according to the rules and the regulations that are already in place, abiding by the structures that are already set up for you, right? But you can create by leaps and bounds when you have a vision for your personal life and you have a vision for the life that you want to create, and you actually start setting up your mindset to see more for yourself than you've ever seen before. That's a big deal, because sometimes in this society, we can really get caught up on people who've done everything the right way. When we say everything the right way, that means they went straight from high school, they went straight into college, they didn't have any children early, they got right into the careers that they wanted. They started being their great self. By the time they were 27 years old, they had all of that stuff together that some of us take a lot longer to figure out, right? And then they go get the marriage, and then they go get the house. We have these really specific structures. When I used to teach sociology, when I teach sociology, right? Because I have a real strong feeling that I'm going to be teaching real soon again. Because it's so important. If I say people need two classes in life, you need a personal finance class and you need a social science class, so you can know where you're starting, so you can create a vision for your life, and you can clearly see how society operates, and you can see where you fall and how you can create the abundance that you choose. It's so important. Until you understand where you fit in society and where you stand in society, it's really hard to know how to create from where you are, right? Nonetheless, so when I used to teach all the time, I would always ask the students that, what do you do after high school? And they were like, go to college. I mean, I didn't even have to cue. It would be synonymous across the board. What do you do after college? You go get a career. What do you do after that? You go get married. What do you do after that? You go buy a house. What do you do after that? You retire. What do you do after that? You travel. What do you do after that? You die. I didn't even prompt any parts of it. Everybody answered off the top of their head, no matter what country they were from, backgrounds. It was all pretty much the same thing. Whether they've even seen that play out in their lives, whether they've even seen anyone achieve that level of societal, I'll call it perfection, even though I don't notice air quotes, that societal outcome, whether it even played out that way, that is what people thought was the goal. You know what I mean? So a lot of times we don't even know that we're operating in those spaces, right? So when I come in contact with people and I realize, like, I'm trying to explain like an idea or a project or a vision for a project or a vision for an idea, and I have people that are truly in the space of, they don't get it. Like, they can't for a moment, if it's not on paper and it's not drawn out specifically and it's not perfectly set up, they truly can't understand what you're trying to convey to them. And I was like, oh my God, I left work the other day and I was like, thank you so much for the vision. Thank you so much for the creativity. Thank you so much for the open mind. Like, I feel so blessed beyond measure that is not something that that I've cultivated that level in my life. And my goal is that you're cultivating that level in your life too. And what I want to leave y'all with today is, what is the vision that you see for your life, right? Even if you have to put it on paper, even if it's not something that you're walking in and embodying every day, because there's some things that I just embody. I had a conversation about sociology yesterday off the cuff. And when I tell you, I went in like it was a lecture. It was entertaining. I went right to the heart of things. I was explaining things like with so much clarity, even more than when I've said and taught classes about it. And I was like, dang, girl, I was like, you got a real vision and a passion there. That's pretty cool, right? And I was like, what is it in your life? Think about this for yourself today. What is it in your life that you're embodying everywhere you go, right? Because some of the things that we're embodying, they're just roles that we've picked up because society says that's the roles we're supposed to have, right? So we may be embodying what society sees as a feminine woman. We may be embodying what society sees as a mother, as a good mommy, that sort of thing. We may be embodying what people see as, a good sibling, a good aunt, or whatever. But I mean, what are you embodying that you're passionate about that doesn't include some role that you were handed before you even knew who you were in society, right? So nonetheless, what is your vision? What do you see for yourself? Because I can honestly say that whatever you see for yourself, if you can't see past where you are and like how much you don't like where you are or something like that, then you're never going to see the greatness that you know that is inside of you. And the reason why you have so much discontentment, if you are dealing with discontentment, is because you know that there's that greatness inside of you. You know the light is trying to beam out of you. Like it wants to see. It wants to access people. It wants to share. It wants to grow. It wants to give something amazing and beautiful to the world. And when you're held up by these little structures we have in society and these roles we decide to play, you're always going to feel that certain level of discontentment on the inside of you because your vision is being smothered, or your vision is not even fully evolved, or it's not even fully seen, right? And what happens is when your vision is not fully evolved or seen, when someone else comes around you with a vision, it can make you feel threatened, right? It can make you start acting out in ways that you didn't even know were inside of you. It can make you start trying to muffle their light in order to avoid the idea that your light is not shining the way that you know it has the possibility of shining, right? So what is it that you see for yourself? Like, close your eyes right now and think about it. Like, you have all these things. It's like, I want more, I want better. Like, what do you see? What do you see that more and better being? If you're a singer, do you see yourself on stage with millions of people? If you're an orator, if you're a lecturer, right? Can you do those lectures when there's no audience there? Oh my gosh. When I say that, that hit something deep inside of me. You know how many times I volunteered for things and lectured in environments where there was nobody in the audience, where people told me they were going to be, oh, these people are going to be there, that's going to be there. And I show up and I'm ready. I got my notes. I got all the power of all the abundance I'm trying to create in the world in that one lecture, in that one environment. And I show up, there's 2 people there and I'm like, my brother can testify to this. I've spoken in front of so many empty crowds. I've shared so much abundance and information from my first books, How to Survive Financial Aid. I used to go to college settings. I went to churches, teach our children about how to make the best of their financial aid and all that in college, Come to our high schools, teach the parents. Now that was a full crowd there. That was a fun experience. I had 4 full audiences that day. That was pretty cool. And I gave them all free books. I thought that was amazing. So what I'm saying is that, can you be that orator when there's nobody on the opposite end? Because these things that we want to have and do and be and create, we have to start learning how to embody them. We have to start learning how to create the vision for them and living in them every single day as much as we possibly can. We have to start being obsessed with them, whether it's mentally obsessed, whether it's obsessed with other people who are doing it, whether it's obsessed with the ideas of what the outcomes are going to be when we get these things. We have to create a deeper vision, because if you don't have a vision of where you're trying to get to, that's like putting in a GPS and go, anywhere is fine, somewhere great. You don't know where the GPS is going to take you. And then the GPS doesn't even know, well, what do you consider great? What is great to you, So we have to get more active and involved in our visions and what we see for ourselves, and writing these things down and creating a path. We may not have a plan to get there, but I can promise you, when you start getting that deep, clear vision about what you want to experience and where you're going and what you're capable of and what you deserve and what you want to give to the world, that vision, that plan is going to start creating itself. We think we got to get caught up in the minutia of the planning. Nah, we don't even have access to the minutia. The minutia is the places and the people and the environments and all that stuff that we're attached to. People that don't even like you will start opening doors for you. People that don't even like you will start saying your name in environments and dropping a dime and saying, well, that person is good at that. And you just like, that person doesn't even like me. How did that person refer me to this position? It's all stepping stones, right? When you start getting fired up and that vision is inside of you, those plans and how that stuff works out, it'll start laying itself out. And you may get to a place where you're like in no man's land, and where you'll have to decide, okay, do I need to make a decision? Do I need to be still, right? And only you'll know that from where you stand. But the only way you'll be comfortable in knowing that standing still is not giving up is that you know that you have that vision, and that vision is sitting on the inside of you. And you know that every second of the path, you're not going to always see where you're going clearly. You have to get a vision for who you are, what you want to accomplish that doesn't include the approval, the validation, and even the insight of others around you. If they're not on board with it, that's perfectly okay, because it's your vision. You're being revealed that vision every single day. That's your communication with the unseen. That's your communication with God. That's your communication with the universe. When you can get a handle on that, I promise you, you will not be able to be stopped. Get a vision, write it down, think big, make it plain, and follow the path. Have a great day.